All right, so we ended up getting the support touch that we were looking for today's session. Let's go ahead and find out what could be happening for the following sessions now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an AMC technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them can consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, so actually, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was CPI. So we ended up getting a 6.4 read of CPI, which is actually lower than the previous CPI reporting of 6.5%. The forecast was actually 6.2, which explains why the markets were so volatile today. So there is this weird feeling that we ended up right in between, right? So the thing is here is that the Fed did say that they would react to higher data, right? So meaning that if the data came in hotter than expected, then they would react to it and continue the rate hikes at higher percentages, right? So in this case, we actually came in a little lower. So I'm actually curious to see what the Fed is going to take from this reporting. So just wanted to let you guys know what happened, right? So we're still on a good path, but not as low as actually we were expecting, right? So now let's go ahead and continue with the analysis. Yes, so we were looking at the potential target of about $4.39 per hour support line from yesterday. And if you can actually see the valuation of the candle right here, L means low. So let's go ahead and hover right over it, and you can see that we did reach that 439 support just like we said. All right, so now we actually did get that bounce to the upside, but what could that mean? Does it mean that we're on a reversal now? I'm not sure, but what I can tell you is that from the short-term support, I'm talking about the immediate short-term support of the 439 that we were looking for, there is still, and also within the support range that we were talking about within here. But regarding the macro scale ascending channel, just so you're clear what I'm referencing at, it's actually this channel, if you remember correctly, right? So yeah, referencing this channel here. So what I'm saying is that there's still a little bit of space to go down if it is that sentiment needs to continue validating this the support of the channel, right, of the ascending channel. So if that's the case, then so be it, but we're still looking good. It looks like we're respecting market geometry, and we're definitely respecting the supports on that way down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and continue on the next chart. So this was essentially the reason that we were able to tell that we were looking at a support before an upside continuation, and that is actually in reference to this descending channel right over here that we've been writing for some time. We have that breakout on that true test number 4, right? We have come back to validated one time, but it looks like it actually didn't touch right at it. So this time around, it looks like we did, right? So this was the range of support that we were looking at just yesterday, and again, the low was actually 439. The fib was suggesting $4.40, but we were already in play, right? So this was essentially the area that we were looking for. We did get that bounce, but like I said, you guys, if there is still room for us to continue to validate our previous support, I'm talking about the ascending channel, then so be it. It's no problem. That's suggesting about 415, 414, right around there. Okay, you guys, so as you can see right over here, that 415 or 414 actually lands very close to that 2.272, which would essentially still be a validation of this newly converted resistance of this channel, right, this channel here, into support. Very good thing is that we're still in essence making a series of higher highs and higher lows, right? So we're still okay in that aspect. Let's go ahead and refer now to momentum, represented by the RSI indicator relative strength index. Please remember that your purple line is your RSI signal, and your moving average is the pink line, which is a 14 period or a 14-day simple moving average built in stock per any RSI setup, right? So we're looking at some consolidation, slightly bullish in the immediate short term. This is 30 minutes, so it's likely to live out pretty fast, remember. All right, so the buy hourly is still suggesting some sideways trading as well. And let's move on. Let's see, the 6 hour is suggesting a little bit of an upside, but it looks to be it looks to be limited, actually, because we do have that 14-day simple right above us, which means that we can essentially make an upward move since we are in the gravitational zone of the oversold percentile. So as soon as we get a little deeper into that zone, we'll get pressured up to the upside and then find the resistance from both the 14-day simple and the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile. Okay, so that would likely be short term. That would indicate maybe a small upside before a continuation to the way down, possibly to test our channel bottom, right? So that's essentially what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead and now move on. Okay, so we're now looking at the 12-hour, suggesting a very similar thing here, but this, if you can see, it's slightly bearish and slightly bullish. What that sometimes means is that there could be a consolidation period here. Okay, so very much in it's actually very much in relevance to the CPI data reporting today. So the markets are still in shock, and we'll see how the psychology moves, as we go day by day. All right, so the daily time frame is still suggesting that downside, and please know that we're actually now diving in to the bear strength percentile, and we're also within the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile, which means that we can actually start losing some of that bear strength and potentially correct so that we can start making that upside. Okay, 3-day time frame still suggesting that downside, and what this is telling me, you guys, is that for sure, like, we still have some chop to kind of go. We still have some chop action happening here, right? Potential drop to that 419 to 415 level, and then we can actually continue on to the way up. And the reason why I'm saying that we can continue on to the way up is because of this. Let's go ahead and reference volatility versus momentum on both the 12-hour and the daily, as we have been doing for a couple days now. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's make this a buy pane, and let's get rid of momentum. Let's go ahead and get rid of momentum here, and let's get rid of volatility here, right? We'll make this large, and we'll make this large. Okay, perfect. So what we're looking at here is actually on the 12-hour time frame, we are now in critical. This is what we were essentially waiting for. Okay, so we have the moving average and the volatility component of the BBWP, which represents volatility, inside of the critical volatility zone, which could be considered to be anything within the 90 percentile. Okay, so that's very good. And as you can see down here, we may still have a little bit of downside continuation, but we are at critical lows down here, which means it's critically oversold. Okay, so there haven't been too many iterations to where we've actually gone below the blue line, the trend line where we're talking about. As I zoom out, you can actually see that we only have a few iterations to where we've gone just a little bit lower, which is great. That means that we're getting very close to a pivotal point. Okay, so I'm honestly a big fan of what's happening here. So this would essentially we need both of the stochastic momentum, or the stochastic oscillator averages, pivoted towards the upside, just like this, and we need the volatility component and moving average also pivoted towards the downside. We need this oval to make the upside move that we're talking about. There are other variables as well. We can also maintain ourselves within the critical volatility as long as we do have momentum pivoted towards the upside, and it would be ideal if we actually can get volatility to start printing these red bars, which would indicate a 12-hour read per every 12-hour iteration that we complete, right? So those are the conditions or the criteria in order to be, that need to be met in order for us to make that upside move. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the daily on both of these, right? And let's see what we have. So the daily is still continuing that just like we said, we were actually right over here yesterday, right? And now we've actually continued, and you can see that the change of color is starting to happen, right? It's starting to get into that lime green right over here. So we're on our way. We're definitely expanding. So now let's go ahead and look at the 8-hour and the 8-hour on both of these. Okay, so please notice that we are also in critical volatility in the 8-hour and also at critical oversold on momentum. So that means that there is potentially something loading up that could be substantial for the AMC asset. Okay, you guys, and also look at this. We're actually starting this contraction phase from critical volatility, and now we're starting to get momentum to correct to the upside in the 6-hour time frame. Things are looking good, and things are actually gonna start pivoting in the coming days. So I would say maybe into maybe mid next week or the following week, it looks like we could potentially be making these upside moves. Okay, we are potentially finding that floor, and this is why I've been talking about this ascending channel. It's critically important that we actually do touch these supports before a continuation onto the upside, right? Of course, we don't want it to go any lower. Of course, we don't want to lose any more money, but sometimes these supports play a critical role for us to be able to make the moves that we're looking for, right, you guys? So please know I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be just fine. Please refer to the links in the description below if you would like to join the ARCa Bulls trading community. Wow. And also you'll find a Twitter link there as well. Okay, you guys, please this is actually a pretty good place for me to leave off the video. If you have any questions or concerns, you know where to reach out to me. I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, you guys.